Hello, and welcome to If the Shoe Fits, a Sighing in Unison podcast. My name is Mike Scarola. I'm here joined by my friends and co-workers and other people, such as Mike Diebold.
Hello.
What do you do?
What do you do?
Like, talk about yourself. Let's talk about you.
Yeah. What's going on with you?
I can't.
Okay,
And
he's a
you're gonna-
writer. And
Yo,
my gimmick.
you said talk about.
Yeah, you had a book
you
coming
said
out
talk
today,
about
right?
myself. Yes, I was gonna wait for the end for that, but yes.
all right, yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Okay, not
I'm
gonna
also
plug
here with my
myself.
good friend Annie O. McSullivan.
Hello.
What up?
How are you?
Sorry, I'm butchering this. What's up, Brian? How you doing?
Hey.
And we have a special guest here today, former sad boy, current depressed man, John Gallagher of Night Shot Kid fame.
That's
What up,
not
John?
one,
And future horrified geriatric.
All right, so today I believe we're dying in unison.
Yeah, dying in unison.
Okay, we're going to be talking about death, though I'm still trying to figure out what exactly. I believe we're talking about if you're on life support, do you want the plug pulled?
Mm-hmm.
And we would like to know what you think about that, but first we're going to give our
Irrelevant
position
thoughts.
on it.
Thought we were going to cut to a commercial break for a sec. I got nervous.
All right, well, John,
So,
what do you think about death?
I welcome it. It's a really weird, subject. I always thought, you picture death, and, for me, it's okay, if I die, or if someone, let's say someone I know dies, alright?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, Mike Diebold dies.
Oh, I would hope so.
Okay, well,
Well, a day after.
maybe it's a bad example, but,
No, I
that
think
part of, my, part of your world just ends, right? For me, so, let's say I die. Today, right now, I die.
Yeah,
All
Wait
of
for
my
book
family.
to come out first.
What?
Wait for my book to come out.
All right,
first.
fair enough.
Okay.
But let's say I die today,
Yeah.
right now, this very second. My entire family, my friends, my loved ones, all of their part of their world just stops, right?
You don't think you're overselling your impact on people?
Maybe a little bit.
No.
No, totally. That's a good. That's
No,
a good
no,
point.
no.
That's a good point.
You
If I
fucking made
if I die
shelf
today,
life. Come on.
that's a good point. If I die today, put me in a trash compactor and send me off to sea.
No, you're
There you
right.
go.
You're right.
That's
I
it.
feel the same way. No, you're totally right. I was thinking about that too because, everyone's always joking about I want to kill myself, blah blah blah. And some people are
I'm
serious about it, but I mean, a lot of people joke about it, and when you think about it,
Suicide selfish. I said it.
shut up.
No,
We're not doing this.
I'm-
That's not the debate.
I'm just saying.
Ooh, it could be though.
No, it could be because, all right, I get it if there's really no way out and there's no other option, I guess. But most of the time, you have loved ones that you're also hurting, which then maybe spirals them into ending their lives. I always think about what happens if I go because I've had those thoughts before, and I'm like, well, I kind of don't want to have a domino effect. They don't deserve to die
Yeah.
too, just because I want to die. So that's my perspective on
I
it.
know. I look at it the same way, but I mean,
So it's not actually selfish, but
no. I mean, I feel like you can't say that because I feel like it's saying people who say that it's usually isn't that the wrong thing
I
to say?
remember reading something from
Depends
someone.
on how do you look
I'm
at
not
it.
PC. I don't care.
I remember reading something from someone who volunteered for a suicide hotline, and she's like, sometimes I really cannot think of a reason that they should. She's like, and I don't know.
That's a
what to
lot
do.
of pressure.
That's crazy.
You don't
get
know them
calls
personally.
from people who literally have nothing going for them, and they don't know.
Oh,
what
so
to
they
do.
explain,
Yeah,
and you have to try to
and you
talk
have
them
to
off the
try.
ledge.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure.
So much pressure.
And
I
a lot
would-
of
I
weight
don't
on your
think-
conscience, so they kill themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
They're
well
probably so
compensated.
desensitized to everything.
So they're just giving
I feel like you wouldn't be able to volunteer to suicide hotline if you were desensitized.
Yeah, you just be
to
reading
it.
off-
Can't be
you
because
can't-
if I'm on
you
if
wouldn't be
I'm
compassionate.
Because if I'm on the ledge and I'm talking to someone with a monotonous voice at the other end of the
like
line,
someone
I'm
who's on a
gonna be like-
Geico, on the line of Geico, yes.
Yeah, I guess you should live.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an insurance agent. Yeah, exactly.
Remember something you like,
Is there anything
that
else I
can
can
of
help you
beans
with
you had
today?
last night. Great.
It's pretty nice weather we're having.
I want to die. Yeah, but go outside.
Did they tell you? Did your friends tell you what it's actually like?
No,
That was it.
it was. It
That
was
sounds
a thing-
absolutely
it was
frightening.
A thing that I read somewhere.
All right.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
pressure on me as it is, but I could never do that. There are
I
heroes
remember
doing
just-
that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, honestly, and I that's how I feel. I feel the same way as you, with the impact, or what John was saying, the impact you have on people is if you take your life.
And that's why I think people think it's selfish. I mean, that's
Yeah.
where the whole this. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily want to say stigma, but the thought process of calling it a selfish act. That's where it comes from.
Yeah.
You leave behind talk about Lincoln Park, Chester Bennington, who just left behind. I think how many kids did he have?
Like 4 or something.
4 or 5, right?
Yeah.
A good amount of kids, and a wife, and everyone is saying what a selfish act. It's no, it's mental illness doesn't really take a it doesn't really take account of anything. You know, it's pretty unrelentless and pretty. It doesn't play favorites, so it's.
No, exactly.
So that's where it comes from. I know we're not talking about mental illness, but
No, I've heard that too, because like, but if you're in that state of mind, aren't you? You have to be somewhat mentally ill, right?
Oh yeah, I feel like definitely.
yeah.
Is that considered?
Yes and no. I mean, like
In the loose
with,
sense.
with depression and with anxiety and with whatever mental illness you want to call it, one of the main things that professionals are trained to check for are their suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideation, suicidal intention, all that stuff. But there could be just one day, you know, it just you could be the most straight shoot person
Yeah.
ever, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
it just snaps and clicks in your
Yeah.
head,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to do this anymore. And without thinking
That's
about it,
true.
I don't.
It's over in a
yeah,
second.
I don't. I think it's more of a breaking point than yes. It's associated with mental illness a lot most of the time because depression and anxiety is gonna feed into that or whatever. But you could just break down, just not take it anymore. Your life could fall apart. You could just want to blow your brains out. That's nothing to do with mental illness. So you
What
just-
if
at the end of
your
the-
whole family gets killed in an
you're at-
accident
you're at-
and then
No, I mean I know that can happen, but I always thought like when that thing happens, when that breakdown happens.
you don't just automatically get depression.
No, but that breakdown is a
I thought
mental
that I
thing.
thought
It's a mental
that breakdown itself was.
no, it's a mental lapse.
But
for
Yeah.
sure.
what if there's a huge tragedy and like you're not depressed, just
Trauma.
yeah, something happens. Say your whole family dies in an accident, and then you're like obviously devastated. You start drinking and just kill yourself. Like you don't have mental illness. Something just
Wasn't
Yeah.
trauma mental illness?
I feel I feel
Trauma
like
trauma
every-
could be like PTSD.
Yeah.
Trauma can be considered. You have like acute trauma. I think the cutoff from acute trauma is if you go undergo like a traumatic incident and like within the first 30 days it's considered acute, and then after that month cutoff it's PTSD, like
Okay.
officially. That wasn't the question, obviously, but I had to say it.
Hey,
I like
you know
hearing
things.
this.
I like
Yeah,
this
this
guy.
guy
I
knows.
love.
No, but traumatic events, they can obviously set you off. But after a certain amount of time, is it the trauma or is it the initial shock of how awful whatever happened was? Like Brian made the example, like your whole family dies in an accident. Is it like, do you try and live with that and then realize you can't, or is it an immediate reaction?
But I feel like that immediate reaction is a mental breakdown, and it's basically a psychotic breakdown at that point. You know what I mean?
That's how I
But
felt
that-
about it. But I mean, if
I don't know if I
does it
agree.
take time to develop? I mean, hold on. First of all, let's say, John, what do you do for a living? Just so
I'm a social worker.
so we know. Okay.
I'm a
so-
social worker. I work right now. Currently, I work as a service coordinator for developmentally disabled adults. So it has nothing to do with mental illness and very,
Oh, really?
no. It's more autism and disabilities of that nature.
But you study stuff like that, right?
I've studied
So
stuff like
you
that.
don't-
Yeah, I
So you have a degree in knowing more than us.
that's exactly what I went to school for.
You
Yes,
know more than signing
100%.
unison.
All right. So then we're
My
fine.
my
We're
minor
talking with
was
the right-
like D-Bolt. Real hard. But no, yeah, it's what I went to school for, and this is where like a lot of my interest is a bad word, I guess, if we're talking about death, but like no, yeah, this is where like my field of study lies. Yeah.
Okay. So then going back to our initial thing when we were talking about like pulling the plug, you know, when you're I don't know, in a vegetative state or whatever.
Could be vegetative, could be just
Terminally, yeah.
you're
Terminally
terminally
pain.
ill and falling fast. Yeah.
So then if you make that decision there, are you considered mentally ill?
No.
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 You're just making a conscious decision like I am.
No,
sure,
if
yeah.
you could be a 97-year-old man and you just be like, and you could be fighting cancer for the 4th time and you just be like,
Yeah.
done. I'm so done with this. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. That's their decision. And if they're,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. If they're, we talked about it before we started recording. I think it was like mentally conscious or whatever the phrase was, or competent. Competent.
Yeah.
Competent adults. I
Comp-
believe
yeah,
the
competent.
term was.
If you're talking about in terms of if they have to make that decision, they have to be mentally competent to make that decision. If you're talking about someone that with a severe disability, let's say developmentally, they can't make that decision. Someone else has to make that. Their advocate, their proxy, someone else has to make that for them.
Okay.
So but yeah, no, I mean, but we're talking about going back to talking about mental illness. You could be in a really depressed state, and you could say, "I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore."
Yeah.
That's where the gray area kind of is.
I feel like there's so much gray area with mental illness.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's mostly
It's
gray
so-
area.
Yeah, like it gets so tricky. I never want to say the wrong thing,
Yeah.
but
And it depends who you talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
everyone has different views on it.
or just say it anyway.
No, no, not on the internet. No.
Yeah, I've got a
Thank
brand
you.
to stick with, y'all. Don't drag me down.
Yeah,
Don't drag me down on your ship. I'm just kidding. I'm brandless at the moment.
So
Free agent. Anybody? Anyone listening?
So when you use the example for when we're on life support, are you in the vegetative state or are you just have a disease or whatever? Because like I feel like either way I want out, but I feel like other people, if you just have a disease, probably would want to try to live it out. I'm a and if I get cancer, I'm just like, come on, gone, go.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
So now, in vegetative.
Vegetative?
So in Dragon Ball Z, there's someone named Vegeta.
Oh my god, no. So just so I'm clear, vegetative state, that's when you just like
You cannot
Can't
talk.
move.
You're in a
or-
coma.
Yeah.
You're in a coma and you're never coming out. You have a brain. You are legally brain dead or something like that.
so people you can't make
No,
competent
not
decisions,
brain dead
obviously.
actually.
Oh no.
Well, coma and a vegetative state are different things.
Well, yeah, I'm
Coma-
just talking about,
coma,
like-
you're basically sleeping for who knows how long.
But if the doctor makes a call and says he's never coming out of this coma, that I guess you can
Yeah.
put in the same category. But I guess it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But
let's
vegetative state is like you are kind of conscious of what's going on, but you cannot react at all, really. You can't move, you can't talk, can't feed yourself,
Ooh,
can't do
that's scary.
anything
That's
for
Kind of like
yourself.
sleep paralysis,
But-
which is the scariest thing ever.
yeah.
But I read this study that they did, but they took people who were in a vegetative state and they put them whatever they
dial.
did,
Right,
that's
scan your
whatever scanned your brain. They did some sort of brain scan thing, and basically like could see where activity was. So they would ask yes or no questions, and if the answer was yes, they would ask the patient to imagine themselves playing tennis. And if the answer was no, they would ask the patient to imagine themselves like walking through their house. So that triggers different parts of the brain because it's different activities, and they could do it. And they were answering questions like, I'm sure they started off with like, what, is your name this? Are you this old? Whatever.
Name
Stuff
that.
like that. So you are conscious and aware of what's going on, and you can, if you could move, you could react to the things, but something in your brain just does not let your body move or do anything. So at that point, I guess they'd have to scan your brain to find out if you want to die.
Interesting.
All right. So let's take two scenarios. One, you're terminally ill. The other, you're vegetative. Do you guys want the plug pulled?
If I'm vegetative,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Most people
pull
would.
that plug and just wrap it around my neck.
I would pull the plug myself, but I'm a vegetable. Thank you.
You're right. So that's general
Yeah,
consensus.
yeah.
Everyone kind of feels that. Yeah, totally.
Other one, I want it to.
But I
Yeah.
feel like in a lot of senses, your family members would agree with that, right?
I would.
'Cause
Yes.
it's like-
God
I feel-
damn, would I hope so.
I think
Yeah,
that's
like-
yeah.
harder on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they're
You know?
deciding.
Yeah, to watch me lay there or watch someone
Yeah.
lay there. I don't want to oversell my
Yeah.
value again, but
Yeah.
but to watch someone lay there.
Unless they really get enjoyment out of that.
Yeah. All right. So then, in the sense of being terminally ill, that's not necessarily pulling the plug. That's more of like assisted suicide, right?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes.
I don't know.
What do you mean by terminally ill?
There's no hope of
There's no hope.
living.
You're
You've been
sick.
given a certain amount of time to live. There's no cure. And you're going to die from whatever you have.
So
Whether it be cancer or something.
okay, so say I'm terminally ill,
Yes.
but I'm functioning right now.
Yes.
But like I know that my time is limited.
Yes.
So you're saying
You're alive and conscious and know everything, but you're dying soon.
But you also know that you're going to die. But
So
you
it's-
might also not die. You could
Somehow.
miraculously come out of it.
right.
You know what I mean? So,
It's basically be on an escalator to hell, or you could pull the plug and go an elevator to heaven.
I guess it depends how bad your quality of life is.
Yeah. Or how
Yeah.
much pain you're in.
Yeah.
exactly.
How much you're sick.
suffering and
Yeah.
how sick you are, like.
Your threshold.
I might if that's me and then that's the case and the doctor is I'm assuming I'm in a hospital and not in some shack. But if I'm in a hospital, I'm assuming if the doctor is telling me and saying like, hey, this is it. Like our only option right now is to make you as comfortable as possible. I'd say if I physically am able to, I'd say just release me. Let me go home and let me be with my family.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, you're right.
That's
Yeah.
that would
Yeah.
be my
Yeah.
that'd be my suggestion.
Hang out,
just
watch The
chill,
Simpsons,
drink
like-
some lemonade, and like just like wait for my good old boy, the Grim Reaper, to come in.
to
Pick
give
me
you a
up-
little tap
pick me
on the
up-
shoulder.
Pick me up in
Yeah.
his Ford.
Yeah.
Knock, knock. It's me, the Grim
Pick you-
Reaper. Yeehaw!
Yeah.
Rolls up in a Ford Taurus.
Yeah.
Comes with a Draco. Just starts shooting.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Too much
Um,
Migos for you.
Yeah.
Way too much Migos.
Oh yeah. But I guess that's how
So you would go home and chill.
I would go home and chill and just like I don't know, pop in a DVD, make some hot pockets, and just like wait. I
Binge
guess
watch Netflix.
binge watch Netflix and just like that's it for me. But I think overall, like if I'm in the hospital and I can't do anything, if I'm sick or if whatever I have is literally preventing me from walking or speaking well,
Yeah.
I'd say I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm
Yeah.
full.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But again, that's the gray area. If I can't speak, who's making the decision for me? You already have to have that.
Can you
That
write that?
line.
Blink twice
Yeah.
for yes.
There's a thing called advanced directives where a DNR, do not resuscitate, would be considered. That would be considered an advanced directive, and you would have that already pre-established with the hospital and insurance and all
But
that.
DNR
garbage.
does not cover. You can still go for chemotherapy and
Mhm,
dialysis and all that.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
just
Yep.
intubation and resuscitation. You know, if
Mhm.
you stop breathing, CPR or your heart. I
This
guess,
is
at that
much
point.
trickier than I thought.
Yeah.
It
There's more to
depends
it.
on your illness, but I think to the point where if you're in so much pain and you've been fighting and you're weak and you can't do anything for yourself, like, do you really want to keep living like that for the amount of time you have to live? I know so many people who, you know, knew someone or whatever. I've known a person or two that's just constantly in and out of the hospital. You're in pain all the time, and they're just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yep.
I don't want to keep going through this and dealing with this, and it's hard on the family too to keep your family members in and out of the hospital.
There's a lot. Absolutely.
And I think that the person who's dying should have the choice of whether or not they want to go sooner.
Well, it's their life, so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then the
And
family
if they can express that
understand,
thoroughly and
right?
coherently, then that is their right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know,
The family's
fact-
got to understand, right?
I would hope so.
Some don't.
Some don't, and that's where we
Yeah.
that's where we see a lot of like things in the news or whatever. Again, there was the name is escaping me. Charlie something out in England. He's like a 2-year-old boy, or not even. I think he was going to be 1 like this week, where the doctors gave him just no shot. He had no chance to live, and the family wanted to take him home, but there was an issue with the courts and like the hospital, and there was a whole big controversy. And that's why I'm being very vague because I don't know the specifics. And I don't want to say anything incorrectly, but there's a lot of, again, we talk about gray area. Like there's a lot of gray area in that term, but ultimately it should be the decision of the individual, and if the individual can't, like for example, this 1-year-old baby, then the parent should have the right.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's like, you know, vets are so quick to put pets down. Like, oh, they're suffering, they're in pain, you don't want them to live like this. You know, best just to put them down. So people do that, you know. Dogs' hips are hurting them, or they're sick, you know, they have cancer, they're not going to make it. Pet owners just will do that, and vets will encourage it. So why is it not the same for people who can speak for themselves? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're all dogs if you think about it.
It's a dog eat dog.
It's a dog eat dog. It's a dog DNR world.
You're right.
If you had a choice to hear one more song before they pull a plug, what would you want to hear?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a
Yeah.
good question.
Thank you.
What are you, like a creative type? Like, what'd you come up with?
I would listen to How to Save a Life by The Fray and just see if I can
Wow.
get any tips out of it. Maybe there's some just like tips or tricks.
Brian, what would yours be? It's gonna be like One More Time by Daft Punk. Gotcha.
Oh my
Got him.
Yo, no, it's that DJ Snake song. What the that song called?
Going with the beep boops.
Yeah, the one with the view.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Descriptive,
The
yeah.
SpongeBob one?
No, not
Uh,
beep beep boop bop. Not that one.
Beep?
Boom bop.
Beep boop bop. Not that one.
Wait, was I right with that? Or is it DJ Khaled? It's a DJ.
What?
No, what's gonna be your last song you want to hear?
I was thinking one more time.
Yes!
But-
Yes! I knew it!
But now it just sounds like I'm
If DJ Khaled is the
It's a
last
great
thing I
song.
hear before I die, I don't even know how I would handle it.
the
I think I'd want to
best.
live longer just so there was one more thing I could hear before that.
Obviously, counting with the best, I'm dying, but I think I would go with, something sad, sappy.
Something's gonna make you cry.
Play Crack the Sky by Brand New.
Oh,
Yep.
Man,
Yeah.
Why?
Gonna make everybody stay in the room, not a dry eye.
you are a parody of yourself.
That's
my friend.
right.
Friday by Rebecca Black.
Hell yeah, there, got it in one. Annie got it in one. That's it. That's the winner.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wait, can you order like people to be in the room while like you die too?
Yeah,
Like,
there's
I
a-
want that girl
well,
who does
okay.
the arm movement
Oh.
out the window.
So you meant like what is it? Postmates, just like order people and just like, hey, here you go.
No, I read an article or I watched a video or something, a little short documentary about this girl who decided to end her life. They moved states because it's only legal in certain states. There was this whole process to go through, paperwork and stuff, I believe, to get the pill that she was going to take
Mhm.
to kill herself whenever she was ready.
Oh,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I felt like kill herself is a harsher term than
and
what
her
I'm
life.
trying to say here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they give. I don't know if there's different ways to do it, but the way that they did it with her was it was a pill, and she would just take it when she went to bed, and that would be it. She wouldn't wake up.
That would be a good way to go out.
So,
Very calm.
Yeah, so basically, she was saying wherever they moved to, it was a nice house, and she said, whenever I'm ready, I can, I'll be with my family, and that'll be it. And her family was 100% on board and supporting her because, she was going to die, and she was in pain, so, and if for some reason she eventually decided she didn't want to do it, she didn't have to do it, you know what I mean? It was completely in her hands.
That's a big decision, though.
Yeah.
That's mad spooky.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about if Daft Punk was dying, would they want to hear their own song?
Would they be wearing the masks?
See, now this is the problem. Daft Punk can never die. So now you've set up an alternate reality.
Mm.
Yeah.
They are space people.
I don't think the masks come off. They're not masks, are they?
Man, we've gotten off
They're on-
brand here, haven't we?
I think getting off topic is on brand.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay,
That's what
that's
happens
cool.
after 10 minutes, and we never go back.
I'm new to this whole thing,
Yeah.
but
Shout out to the Tadmua 5. That's my friend.
A Dead Mouse 5?
Adelphi? What?
Sorry.
Shout out to Adelphi. They're sponsoring us. Did Bow Wow sponsor that? No, I really am getting off topic.
wow, I don't even know where we're going now.
We're talking
We're
about
going down some
free
dark
college.
We're going down some dark rabbit
We're
hole.
talking about bankrupt rappers.
Welcome to our
I thought you were
Bernie
gonna-
Sanders recap podcast.
I thought you were
Going
going to
through
say
He
his whole
lost.
campaign. Now we're talking about April 2017. Nope. When did he run? 2016.
There we
I
go.
thought you
We
were
should
going
do-
to say
Oh, I thought you said
bankrupt
April 20th.
rabbits.
What?
I thought you were saying
Bank-
April 20.
Yeah, we're talking. Okay, that's fine. We can go down that rabbit hole if you want.
Rabbits.
so many rabbit
That's why I said rabbits, I guess. Is that it?
Is that it? What are we at
I
here?
still don't know what
We're at
Scroll wants to
24
die
minutes.
to. What song?
Oh, okay. Well,
Paper by Short Break.
no.
I die every time I hear it, so in the best way possible.
Every time I do
in
it.
the
And come back to
greatest
life.
way possible.
I think that if I had to pick, it's tough. It's a toss up between.
If you say Rome by the Story so far, you're weird. That's what you want to
No,
go
I
to?
really like that song, but
So you're going to be bouncing in your hospital bed?
no, it's a toss up between the Looney Tunes intro music.
Oh my god, that's all, folks?
Yeah,
Yikes.
Oh my god. that's
Jesus, that's deep.
the Donald Duck intro music. I love that song. That song has been stuck in my head since I was a little kid,
Mm-hmm.
like just on and off for years. Like, I really like that song. But that's it for me. Like,
Mm.
I can't think of anything else better, to be honest.
Freebird. Wonderwall.
Too long.
God, hell no.
Helena.
Well, that's a good song.
That would be really good. So
Yeah.
long, good night, and then
Still love that.
you're just going to be Taylor Swift, isn't it?
The song from, I don't know what my last song would be,
speaking
but I just thought of the song from Sound of Music when they're singing So Long Farewell. Not that one.
Not that one.
No,
The hills
when
might be
they're-
alive,
when they're
but
singing.
that's about it.
Mine would be turned down for what?
For death.
Oh man, that would be a great one.
Right?
Yeah. Now, do you die in the middle of the song or right when it ends?
I feel like Brian would not go out with pulling the plug. He would drag his ass to the window and leap.
So real quick, I think I'm going to change mine to "The Gambler" by Kenny Rogers.
Okay.
Because there's a line in that song where a man just dies in the middle of the song. Basically, he's on a train and he's going to wherever, and there's someone on the train and he's the gambler, and he's like, "Hey, you look pretty upset, but I'll give you give me some booze, and I'll tell you the secret to life." And then I forget what he says. There's a whole line, and then he basically just rolls over and dies in his sleep. So I think that would be pretty poetic if I were to
I'm changing mine to the Benny Hill theme song. That would be
Sorry,
good.
listen
That's
to that
pretty
one.
deep.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would want.
It's going to be Taylor Swift.
No, it's not. Definitely
It's all
not.
too well.
Oh.
It's
Lizzie
not-
McGuire theme song?
Okay.
That was a good one, right?
Why can't
Wait, can I
have
get like a person? I'm dying, so I could have like a Make-A-Wish or something. Can I have Mike
No,
Stroll of
that's
Shore
for
Break?
children.
Damn it! Perform the Zoe 101 theme song. That'd be dope.
How does that
I feel like he would do that for you if you were dying. Would you do that for him?
Please do that.
I don't think you need to go through Make-A-Wish to make that happen, bud. I think that's just like a phone call.
Honestly, though, if he was dying, he'd be like, "Yo, can you get Taco Bell?" He'd be
Yeah.
like, "Yo, Bell."
Seinfeld
Wait,
baseline.
did people
Oh
really?
my God.
Wait, does
Yeah.
people really when they die?
Oh
That's
yeah.
a thing, yeah.
Is that true?
God, restart
Yes.
the podcast. We have a lot to get
I
into.
don't know.
Yeah. What happens?
Yes, that's the thing. Cause
You
you're-
know, right?
All of your.
It shuts down, right?
Yeah,
to just
everything
assist
just
So
us?
it's
shuts
automatic.
down,
But
so
what
it
if you
just
didn't have to
happens.
go?
Then nothing comes out.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So it
So
just
maybe you don't.
rots in you?
Not always.
Wait, why does it come out though? Wouldn't it just like stay there?
No.
Well,
Just
think about
things
it
when you
when
die.
like you're anxious and you're like all your energy goes to your brain.
Mhm.
So your digestive system, you're not like focusing on it, so it just goes whoosh. So I guess when you're just not paying attention to your digestive system and you're dead, your ass is just gonna flush out.
Well, that happens.
Who's
with
holding it
animals
together?
as well.
Who's holding it together? Not me. I'm dead.
Do you
But
think who's pushing it out? You're dead.
Okay, ready?
Oh,
man.
Ready? Ready? It's a forensic scientist writing this, apparently.
So who cleans
Just
this
like
shit?
those rare occasions where you laughed so hard you peed your pants, you will pee and poop in the spontaneous relaxation of your muscles following death.
You don't go number 3.
In fact, it's not just the muscles, but also the gas produced inside your body following your death that will cause peeing and
Hold on, stop the podcast. What's number 3?
Ejaculating.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Which I
That's
can't
number
do.
three, right?
I-
Yeah.
Is it really?
In my family, that was always diarrhea.
No,
Yeah,
no, no, no,
same.
no.
Yeah.
Number 3 is ejaculating.
Like mom,
That's
like
like
farting
number
or
7.
something.
Mom, I gotta go. number three.
47? That's,
Se-
40
I
pre-com.
said number. So what's all the numbers in
47.
between?
41 to 48 is
When-
pre-cum.
Yeah. A mix of it would be the rest of them. Just over and over.
All right.
Enough
Wait,
about my
do you think lobsters actually live forever?
I thought you were gonna ask if lobsters pre-cum. I'm not
Is that a
entertained.
thing?
I'm not entertained by this.
Apparently.
No.
If they have like no biological lifespan.
Father. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know their biological father. Going back to what he said earlier, Amanda Bynes. Everything is a revolving door.
Lobsters can't live forever.
Why not?
Not that
It's
attitude.
false.
I could see them living like 100 years. That's about it.
It says they keep growing until they die.
That's scary.
Lobsters aren't actually immortal. Contrary to the popular
The
memes
only-
circulating online.
Annie, what is the only thing that is immortal? You know this. I taught you well. Come on. Come on. Do it for daddy. Come on. Come on.
My hate for that word.
You got it, sis. But no, it is the Almighty.
Chad Kroger.
No, he can suck his own though. That's pretty.
Alright.
She might as well be immortal.
I
It's
feel-
the water bear.
Oh.
The water bear
Oh, yeah,
never
tardigrades.
dies. Tardigrades never
feel
die.
I felt
Shout out
very
to
pressured.
tardigrades.
I felt very pressured.
Is that true?
Yes.
It's my favorite Goonies
Hey.
quote. Tardigrades never die.
Interesting.
They were sent to space, they were frozen, baked, everything, do not die, they're the most interesting thing in the world, and I love them.
Okay. That's a great way to end this podcast.
Oh, I'm not gonna
Wait, I'm
learn and
not
be
done
smart.
about
I just
lobsters.
I have to be the joke guy every time, trying to bring some facts.
I had a really good joke about if lobsters killed themselves, it'd be shellfish. But now
Oh!
we're past,
End it! Boom!
we're
That's
past,
fire!
we're past
That's
that point.
fire!
We're past that point now.
And on that note,
We have to plug some things.
yeah, we have
Yeah.
to plug some things.
Like
and
my
get your
asshole.
way.
Yes.
What are we plugging?
We have
What's
to
coming
pull
up?
some plugs, am I right?
Oh yeah, I love this podcast. This might be my favorite.
Man.
Yes.
Got jokes.
We have to have him back again. It was great.
I'll come back whenever.
Oh my
Seriously,
God, we
this
would
is,
love
this
that.
This is the most meaningful conversation I've had in a long time.
It was meaningful and my two favorite things. But
I'm
yes.
not saying something. It's the most meaningful conversation I've had in a long time.
Well, that being said, we're gonna get out of your way, and hope you have a good day.
I do have to talk about lobsters real quick, because now I
Now you're
learned
gonna
the
talk
thing.
about lobsters.
Well, Brian brought up the lobsters. So, apparently lobsters never really stop growing, and their reproductive situation does not slow down, ever. And so lobsters grow by shedding their exoskeleton, and apparently they can die by shedding their exoskeletons because the exertion proves to be too much.
Anyway, tell us what you think about death and this topic. Would you pull a plug? Let us know.
Whatever the
What
Anytime.
song would you listen to if you were dying?
Also, if you have any more lobster puns, hit me with those. It took me a while to come up with the shellfish one, so I'd really like some help.
And let me know if you want me to do a Kickstarter for my deviated septum because I'm sick of my nasally voice. Thank you.
I'm sick
Yo,
of
me
it
too.
And on that note, we say goodnight.